Hi, this is Jim Ave again, and I'm going to cover the Strengths Finder evaluation assignment for our class. Uh, Obviously, I have the syllabus in front of me, so you should have that in front of you too. Our assignment is worth a total of 120 points. Um, this assignment is in response to my research that I've done on the whole strengths-based philosophy, strengths-based approach. There's a bunch of ways that this is discussed. I hope that you learn a lot about yourself through this assignment. That's the main reason why I have students do this assignment. It's just to really learn about yourself and how you can use this philosophy or approach in your personal life and in your professional life. So I'll go over the different steps for this particular assignment in this announcement. One of the things you'll do is you're going to complete the Clifton's Strengths Finder assessment. I have the hyperlink there. You should have access to this assessment when you purchase the Strengths Quest book. Again, you had to buy a new Strengths Quest book in order to get that code for the Strengths Finder assessment. So you'll complete that. It takes, 30, 40 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes to do it. Pretty straightforward. You should just answer. Usually you are given two words, and you have to pick the word that is most like you, and you have to do it quick. And so you'll do that assessment. Then you'll read the Buckingham and Clifton Now Discover Your Strengths book, and the Clifton, Anderson, and Schreiner's Strengths Quest book. And then you're going to write a paper based on the textbooks and your Clifton Strengths Finder assessment. So I have this paper divided up in a bunch of A words. So you have awareness of your strengths, affirmation of your strengths, approach of developing your strengths, application of your strengths. Okay, so let's go over each one of these sections, and each one of these sections will be a part of your paper that you'll write. So in the awareness of your strengths, the first thing is to identifications of your strengths themes and the strengths. So what you're going to do is, after you take the Strengths Finder assessment, you're going to provide me with your top 5 signature themes, also known as talents. You'll turn in a copy of your Strengths Discovery and Action Plan Guide. When you take the Clifton Strengths Finder assessment, it's a PDF file, and you'll just turn that in the assignment link. 10 points just for doing that. So you already got 10 points for doing that. Get that done. Pretty straightforward. You don't write anything. You'll turn in this earlier in the class, and then your paper is due at the end of the class, or towards the end of the class. And then in your paper, what you're going to do is you're going to provide an overview of what the strengths-based revolution is all about. And this comes out of the Buckingham and Clifton textbook, that term revolution. But from the two textbooks, and I have actually in the Moodle class, I have a folder with a bunch of really good articles about the strengths-based approach. So you should use that too. So what I want you to do is provide the key aspects of this strengths-based approach to life from our textbooks and any journal articles. I also want you to discuss the differences between knowledge, and there's two different types of knowledge. What is a skill and what is talent, as they relate to discovery and using strengths. You should also have I don't have it in the syllabus, but what is a strength? A lot of people get the understanding what a strength is wrong, and I'm going to talk about that in our next section in the affirmation of your strengths. So one page, real quick, what is this whole strengths-based thing about? So one page on that, and that's 10 points for providing that overview of this whole strengths-based revolution. Our next part of our paper is affirmation of your strengths. This is worth 30 points. And here you're going to reflect, discuss your action on discovering your 5 top signature themes. Now, when you do your Strengths Finder assessment, Clifton Strengths Finder assessment, that printout, the Strengths Discovery and Action Planning Guide, will provide you with your top 5 signature themes. And so what I want you to do is tell me what those 5 are and what's your reaction to those. What did you think of them? So you need to read what each one of those are. They give that in that printout, that PDF file, but it's also in the books. Each book has a description of those. So reflect on each of your talents. What are your strengths? And I'm going to just read this here. Just because you have a talent does not mean it is a strength. Because remember, a strength equals the talent that you have times energy. This is a big thing I learned during my sabbatical work, is that a strength is a thing that we do. And I'm going to give a little bit more information on this. So it's talent times energy plus the knowledge that we have in something plus the skills that we have. So a strength is something that you do well on a consistent basis, and it gives you energy. So what are some of those things that you do well and it gives you energy? I'm going to give an example of a strength. A strength is something that you do. For example, I love to make changes in this grad program. I'm constantly tweaking the way it operates, functioning, the process of the way we offer classes and those type of things. I love doing that. I think I'm good at it. It gives me energy just thinking through it and making those changes. But I use my strength, my signature themes to do that. That's the talent. It gives me energy. Plus, I have the knowledge and the skills to do those type of things. So what I want you to do when you write your paper, how do your talents used in these activities that are your strengths? What talents still need to be developed into strengths over time? As I put in there, it may be helpful to use the strengths development framework that is found in the course documents to help you with this work. You should also, here's an ideal on number 3 is email or send your Strengths Discovery Action Plan to a couple of your very close friends, family, spouse, significant other. These individuals should know you pretty well. Have them read about the 5 strength signature themes and ask them if tell you which of these themes do they see you using, not using. Include this in your feedback in your paper to support or not support the findings from the CFS assessment. I also have a strengths grouping PowerPoint slide. I want you to discuss what groups your 5 themes are in and how these are revealed in your life. Okay, so that's a pretty big chunk of information. This is 2 to 4 pages, a lot of self-reflection here. You're going to be writing in the first person in a lot of this paper. So this is really self-discovery. This is affirmation of who you are, of your strengths. The second part of this section of the paper is I want you to discuss which methods you'll use to manage your weaknesses. Now, Buckingham and Clifton discuss this in the pages that I have there in the syllabus. How do they define a weakness? Okay, that's the first thing you have to understand is how are they defining a weakness? What are a couple of your weaknesses, and what are some ways you can manage around your weaknesses based on what they have placed in their textbook? Okay, so that's 1 to 2 pages there. And one thing I didn't say is provide a detailed description of ways that you deal with these weaknesses. I guess I did say that. Next part of the paper is approach of developing your strengths. How will you develop your signature themes into strengths? This is 2 to 4 pages, 20 points. And so what I want you to do is complete the strengths development planning table. So that's down here, strengths developing planning table. Okay. And put the table in the appendix of your paper. For each of your 5 signature themes, provide at least one short-term or long-term professional and or personal goal that can be achieved by using that talent. Include the date that the goal is to be completed. Then identify what skill, knowledge, and or experience you need to meet the goal. Finally, identify a person who will help you meet each goal. Think of this person as a helper, teacher, or an accountability partner who is going to help you provide the talent. So down this thing, you're going to say, one of my talents is being an achiever. I'm going to give the goal that I want to reach. Make it a very specific goal. Can be a professional goal, work-related goal, or it can be a personal goal that you can use your talent, and again, mine's an achiever, and give yourself a specific date that you want to achieve that goal by. Is there specific knowledge you need to develop that goal, that talent into that goal? What about skills? What experience do you need, and who's going to help you be accountable? You can have the same accountability person. So you'll have 5 of these in your table. So this table will be in your appendix, and then what you'll do in the actual paper is provide an explanation of what you provided in the table. This will help you understand how to develop your talents into strengths. So your goal here should be a task that will hopefully be turned into a strengths based on your talent. Okay, that's 2 to 4 pages of the description provided here, describing that table. Now, the most important part, and this section here, the application of your strengths, is very similar to the approach of developing your strengths. But it's 5 to 6 pages, 40 points. Now, what I want you to describe how you can apply the information from the 2 textbooks and 5 additional strengths-based articles. Again, I've provided you some resources already. How can you apply this information to your work and to your personal life? To me, this is the most important part of this entire assignment. I want you to spend the majority of your time in here. Again, how can you use this information about yourself, about focusing on your strengths, in a leadership role at your current job or your future job? And a future job meaning if you want to be an AD down the road and you're currently not doing that, how can you move to that role as an AD? So I want you to be very specific on your examples on how you can use this information from the books and the journal articles to actually use your strengths. Again, the way I'm using strengths is not the 5 themes. It's actual tasks that you do well at your workplace that gives you energy and you do it consistently well. Again, you can read the C thing, but I want you to use the books and the journal articles for your resources. There are some good stuff online. Just make sure that it's just not somebody's blog. Okay. Okay, your paper should include a title page, an introduction. Every paper should have an introduction. Tell us what we're going to read. Provide a conclusion. What did we just read? A reference page. You should have references. You should definitely be referencing the 2 textbooks and the action guide and those 5 additional resources. You need to use double spacing, 1-inch margins, 12-point fonts. and use either Arial or Times New Roman, and follow APA. Provide section titles. Well, you already had the section titles right there. There's the section title. Section titles and reference, citing your resources in the book, in the paper, and in the reference page. Write in the third person except for the sections where you talk about your strengths and how you apply them. So most of the only part's really third person is going to be in this overview of the strengths revolution. Everything else I expect to be in the first person. I really hope that you learned a lot about yourself through this assignment. Oh, I do have a rubric for here too for this assignment, so you can download that rubric. In the class, I have that. I really hope you learned a lot about yourself through this assignment. I learned about the strengths based revolution in 2007, and I've done a lot of research on it since. So I've kind of reorientated my life based on the strengths based revolution. I think it's based in scripture too. So if you got any questions about this assignment, please use the Q&A forum. Don't wait till the last minute to do this assignment. Start working on this assignment at the beginning of this course.